All right. Hey, everybody. How you doing? We're back again. Wow. Check us out. We are back again. Crime and Cask. About age. We got a little Swamp Justice Radio coming on, man. We got a lot to talk about today. Let's put this down a little bit. Stories of Swamp Justice. Oh, my Lord. And that's what South Carolina is. We got a big swamp here. We're just trying to find some justice. What we're going to talk about today is, maybe you saw in the headlines. Let me stop this. We're going to talk about Eric Bland. He is a media personality, if you will. He is a podcaster, if you will. And he is, at least for now, a licensed attorney to practice law in the state of South Carolina. And apparently has been here for, I don't know, a long time. We'll see how that goes. But you can see up here in the upper right-hand corner there, Heartbreak on Sandy Run Road. That is the new book by Murdaugh and Just Me, No One Else, the investigation into the death of Stephen Smith by investigative journalist James P. Seidel with the Crime and Cask Investigations. It is a couple hundred pages, almost 250 pages. It's got some beautiful QR codes in there for you. But so the genesis of this book, which is now available on Amazon, you can buy it in any form you want to on Amazon. Go check it out, Heartbreak on Sandy Run Road, or Crime and Cask, whatever you want to do. I do have 3 other books up there that I've written, so go check it out. But the genesis of this book really came from an article that I posted on October 15th at crimeandcask.com or ccnewsnetwork.com. Both will get you there. Let's just show you that article right now. Okay. So here we go. We're at the CC News Network. We got a lot of stuff to show you here today. Here it is right here. What really happened to Stephen Smith, according to an eyewitness who finally broke their silence after 10 years. You can see the date there, October 15th, 2025. Here is a picture that was taken by law enforcement. And Stephen is laying in the middle of the road. This, again, is taken by law enforcement. This is an actual real picture. And Stephen is blurred out. So remember this picture, because we're going to be talking about this today, and Eric Bland and how he changed his tune. And literally he turned on me. And we're going to ask these questions. Why did this guy turn on me? And why is he still going after me, even though he's probably going to maybe likely lose his law license from the South Carolina Office of Disciplinary Counsel, which has an investigation open in on him, and he's just, he's nonstop. But let's go into it anyway. So here it is. This is the article. And before I published this article on October 15th, 2023, I want to tell you that I called Sandy Smith. I got a hold of Sandy Smith. I texted her a few times. We coordinated with a time. I called her. She's down in Hampton, Varnville area, and anyway, her signal was kind of poor. But we got a chance to talk, and I told her basically everything that's in this article, and it's a long article. I mean, you can see right here in the table of contents. It's pretty big, and it's what did we say here? It is how long of a read is this thing? That's a 22-minute read, just this article alone. And so this is the genesis of the book. You can see the ad right there. The mystery of Stephen Smith. Is it solved? You decide. But so I called Sandy and I talked to her, and I talk about this extensively in the book as well, and what we talked about. I want to play you just a clip here and show you the response that I got from Sandy, first of all, and then the response I got. The response I got from Eric Bland on October 15th, and I think into the 16th, but we'll see. So this is on Crime and Cask Investigations YouTube channel, and let's take a listen. Is there any questions you have for me that I can talk to you about?
No, what you said is very interesting.
Yeah.
You've told me more than any sled agent.
Right. You've told me more than any sled agent. That's pretty good. Okay, so Sandy's on board, and that is important to me. So let's see what her attorney, because after I talked to her, I said, "Do you want me to call your attorney?" And she said, "Yeah, would you?" I said, "Yeah, sure. What's his number?" And she gave me his number, Bland's number. I sent him a text. We're going to show you those texts here in a second. Again, October 15th, 2015, and we're coming with receipts. Voila, here we go. This is from Eric Bland on October 15th. Thank you for all your hard work. Now, I've got a bunch more here. Eric Bland, first one here. Sandy Smith gave me your number. I'm an investigative journalist, CC News Network. I have an article I'm about to post and want to give her a courtesy call before I publish it. May I call you now? The information is groundbreaking. Sent that on October 15th. And then I can show, you know what, I'll just go ahead and show it to you, because then Eric and I had a conversation. We had a conversation before he sent this here, but it was an outgoing call. I called him. It was almost 9 minutes. It was 8 minutes and 48 seconds that I talked to him on October 15th. He was very congratulatory. You can see here in his own words, "Thank you for your hard work." I told him about the source and the conversation that I had, and that I shared it with Sled. I told him in this conversation I shared it with Sled, because he keeps coming up. I told him he needs to share it with Sled. No, 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 no. I told you I shared it with Sled. Stop saying it. It's wrong. Stop saying it. It's wrong. Okay, so then we go, and then he gives me his email address. I won't show you that, but there's his email address that he gives me. Yeah, send me the article. And I said, "Sent. Thank you for your time." And he sends it back. "Thank you for your hard work," right here in front. My pleasure. I said, "I pray this leads to arrests and convictions. I also pray it gives Sandy a little feeling of closure. Thanks, Jim." There I texted him the article, and that is what I basically got from Eric. But thank you for the hard work. And it was a great 8-9 minute phone conversation. I got off the phone feeling pretty good. That Sandy is telling me I've given her more information than anyone from SLED. You heard it from Sandy, your own ears. You got Eric Bland. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what has changed? What has changed? Because 2 days later, on October 17th, it changed. And we're going to get into that in just a second. Let me show you what changed. Well, here you go. Here's what changed on October 17th. You can clearly see there, Mandy's in her little fancy little pink dress out at the Hulu premiere that she had on that fictional show about Murdaugh. And good morning, beautiful people. Just a warning, if you tag me in misinformation about Stephen Smith, you'll be blocked immediately. Ooh, don't want to be blocked by Mandy. Oh, boy. So that's what changed. That is what changed, because on October 17th, I sent this text to Bland. "Mr. Bland, why is Miss Matney calling me a liar and a fraudster?" For my article, Sled Agent Radulski and I worked this case together. I have the interviews I did with the source and Patrick Wilson. I'm very confused right now. And as Mrs. Smith's attorney, I pray you are outraged by Miss Matney's defamatory actions accusing me of lying about this case. My attorney, who was present with me during the presentation of the Sled Agent, will be reaching out to Miss Matney for a full retraction and apology. Didn't get that one. send him another one. Mr. Bland, I know you have a great deal on your plate, yet the recorded interview regarding the death of Stephen Smith remains available to you for your review. For years, you have urged anyone with information to come forward, and that is exactly what has happened here. The witness who spoke with me has provided significant firsthand information and knowledge that has never been disclosed, which is why I find it difficult to understand the reluctance to even listen to what the source shared. So get that. I am willing to let them listen to about the hour and a half conversation of the source who was there the night of the night Stephen was killed, and they don't want any part of it. I go on to say they showed great courage in stepping forward. I immediately ensured the material was placed in the hands of SLED. My goal has always been to support Stephen's family in the pursuit of truth. I am preparing a follow-up article addressing the accusations that the information is fabricated, as well as the irony of dismissing evidence that no one has reviewed. Before I finalize it, I want to give you an opportunity to clarify your stance. My intention is only help move this case forward towards answers. Bland goes and says, I am not SLED. We've been consistent about asking people to go to SLED. Go to SLED, please. That's on October 27th. Eric, you know that I told you on October 15th in our conversation, I went to SLED. I've told you in these text messages, I went to SLED. Stop saying go to SLED. Why are you pretending not to know me? You read my article. You thanked me. It's not a good look. I handed to you and Sandy on a silver platter a story that no other journalist got. None. Go ask SLED agent Peter Radulski. He'll tell you the truth, or my attorney can. She was there when I gave it to Radulski. Let's see. Here's Bland. I know you, and I told you to go to SLED. Again with this go to SLED. Stop saying that. How many times do I have to tell you? I give you the agent's name. Do you want me to give you his phone number too? And what you told me was already known by SLED. No, that's not true. No, that's not true. You didn't read the article. And told to me by Chief Keel 2 years ago. No, that's not true. That's not true. Or you would have printed it, and you didn't print it. That's why it's not true. I'm telling you now, I'm going to sue you if you continue to use my photo in connection with your endeavors. Oh, he's going to sue me. Oh boy. Oh, well, things are getting, that was on January, and that was on December 2nd. And then he says, December 2nd, please discontinue all contact with me and stop using my photos. So much for wanting to know the truth, huh? Oh, does he? Oh, wait, let's check. Maybe he does want to know the truth. Hold on. Let's check and see if he does want to know the truth. But just not from me. Well, let's get into it. Does Eric Bland want to know the truth? Because he certainly didn't want to know it from me, did he?
He reviewed the crime scene photos, the blood evidence, walked the roads where the body was found, and it all, quote, fully supports a blunt force trauma, and the only logical conclusion would be a hit-and-run injury.
Okay. Dr. Presnell from MUSC, who is the pathologist who performed the autopsy on Stephen Smith over 10 years ago, said those things. The state police didn't believe her. They didn't want to believe her. Eric Bland had said that he was beat up somewhere else and killed somewhere else and then brought there and dumped. Now, all of a sudden, I put it in an article, and now Jesse Weber is talking about
And he
it.
also concluded that the evidence doesn't show Stephen's body was moved.
Better not tell that to Eric Bland, because he's been saying that for years.
Eric Bland, the attorney for Stephen Smith's family,
Wait a
says
minute.
Other experts that he's brought in think Stephen Smith's death may have happened in a different location and that Stephen's body was dumped. I got a chance to talk to Eric all about this a little while ago.
Wow.
Eric.
By the way, let's look and see when this was. This was just a few weeks ago. It doesn't really say, but it's 2026. Oh, May 19th. There we go.
Bland, deja vu. It's been like 3 years since I've seen you. A lot of developments. Before we even get into Stephen Smith, just your reaction to the Murdaugh news. I mean, my gosh, big development.
Yeah, big development. Yeah, Alec Murdaugh. Eric Bland, by the way, if you go to crimeandcast.com, Eric Bland was involved with the anonymous email that was sent to Judge Newman before it was sent to Judge Newman. Yeah, Eric Bland, Manny Matney, Liz Farrell, they all knew about it. They all went to Creighton Waters. Apparently, Creighton Waters wanted to talk to Christine Avery, who sent it. Yeah, so Eric Bland, you're part of the reason why. Oh, you just can't make this stuff up.
Convictions overturned.
Yeah, I mean, the
Yeah,
decision was
I mean,
not shocking. What was shocking was
Judge.
the oral arguments in February. We did not expect that the current Supreme Court would be so critical of the former Chief Justice of our Supreme Court, Jean Toll, who
Wouldn't be so critical of our former Chief Justice, Jean Toll. This is the same Eric Bland that has an ODC complaint about him from Dick Harpootlian when he told everybody that Justice Jean Toll goes into, like a dog, into courtrooms and pees on every corner of the room. Can't make this up.
denied the motion for a new trial. And we were not expecting that the Supreme Court would be so critical of Judge Newman, the trial judge who let in the financial crimes. So when you listen to the high fastballs at the Jim Griffin being on the table, there may be even after. So if he lets,
I want to ask you about Stephen Smith. Where does it stand right now into
What?
the investigation into his death, and has it changed at all given what has just happened with Alec Murdaugh?
Well, Jesse, I tell you, I got a phone call from investigative journalist James Seidel back in October, who had a eyewitness come forward, and we have the names of the people, how it happened, where it happened, and why they were going so slow, and why Stephen was out in the middle of the road. We have all those questions answered, right? All right, let's hear Eric say that.
in theory, it could have changed, but we have not heard anything from the Attorney General's office or SLED in over almost a year.
I have, Eric. I've been working with SLED.
Now, remember, once the murder happened,
I wonder why they stopped working with you and started working with me.
the murders happened on June 7th of 2021. Within 15 days, supposedly the state found some evidence at Mizell, which caused them to reopen Stephen's case. So we were really
No one has said that. Eric Bland is the first person to say that they found some evidence. There's nobody to say that except for him. They didn't find any evidence. At least they haven't said that they have found any evidence, but they just reopened his case as a murder investigation.
encouraged. We then did an exhumation of his body and had a second autopsy done,
And found the same results as the first one.
which indicated that he died from a blunt instrument.
Dr. Aaron Presnell said those exact words 10 years ago. It was a redundant autopsy. It was stupid. It was a waste of money. And it was just for, I don't know what.
Probably from a moving vehicle.
Oh, you think so? Dr. Aaron Presnell said that 10 years ago. By the way, if you go read my article and if you can read my book, you'll see exactly who, what, where, why, how, and when he was hit. But does Eric want to see this? Does Eric want to hear that? No.
So we really thought that there was traction. We thought that with Alex's conviction, that the cone of silence in Hampton County would end.
The cone of silence did end, Eric, and they came to me, not you, not Mandy, not Liz, not you. They came to me. Patrick Wilson came to me. The source came to me. I have another source that verifies the information in the original article that has nothing to do with any of it. Doesn't even live in town. Do you want to hear that? No. This is so dumb.
And that people would come forward because there are
People did come forward. Me. You told me to go away. Why? Because you're Mandy's little lapdog and you'll do whatever she says. And she slapped you upside your head and said, stop talking to that guy. I don't like him. We got money on this thing. I don't know what it was, but Mandy slapped you around and told you to knock it off, and you did. You obeyed her.
5 or 6 people that SLED told us that have knowledge as to what happened to Stephen.
Yeah. Me. Read it.
A grand jury was impaneled.
Oh, I know the grand jury was impaneled. I talked to Patrick Wilson, and he told me what went on in that grand jury. Did he tell you?
But didn't return any type of indictments. We believe there's 5 or 6 people that have knowledge as to what happened to Stephen on July 7th of 2015.
July 7th? Try July 8th.
But they won't come forward.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They came forward. They came to me. Patrick Wilson came to me. My investigative source came to me. And by the way, it is extremely credible. Yeah. I got SLED to come to my attorney's office and sit there and listen
Just
to
to clarify, Dr. Kinsey's evaluation of this, believing it's a hit and run. So how does that affect the investigation? How does that affect where you are in this and how we should be thinking about it?
Well, he's our expert witness, and
Oh, he's our expert witness. I see. Dr. Kenny Kinsey, who I contacted, by the way, and congratulated him on that and said, I'm willing to help you in any which way. I've got all this information in this book. And guess what? Kinsey doesn't want help because he didn't respond. Yeah, that Kinsey, bought and paid for by this guy, Eric Bland.
That is one of the causes of death that he has reached in connection with the pathologist that did the testing of the second autopsy.
The first one said it, Eric. Would you just stop avoiding the truth? Oh, my Lord.
In Florida. But they're not hired by the state. It's the state that must bring these criminal charges. And so SLED, they may have their own theories. I'm disappointed in SLED, Jesse, to be honest, because
maybe
we
that's
had
why
a
they've
good
stopped talking to you.
for about the first year and a half after the murder convictions, but they've gone silent on us. And
they've gone silent on you, but not me. I just talked to this guy a couple weeks ago.
I believe, based on the rumors that are out there, that there is 1 or 2 people that really were present when it happened.
I tell you who was present when it happened. The person who I interviewed told me their names and a whole lot more. And I have a second source that came through that verified all of this again. But does Eric want to hear any of that?
But 5 or 6 that know of relevant information.
Yeah, me. Okay, I'm done with that because he's just blabbing about to Jesse Weber and going on all these different things. And the information's right in front of him. And what does he do? I'll show you what he does here in just a second. Well, Mr. Bland, I mean, let's put it out there, shall we? The Eric Bland, not Eric Bland, the Eric Bland. On December 18th, 2025, this lunatic mental midget cretin, it's a very underused word, absolutely lost his mind. Okay, now he's calling me crazy. Now Jim Cradell is proclaiming on his Slime and Mask podcast. I didn't know I named it Slime and Mask, but thanks, EB. That the ODC has opened up an investigation of me into the result of some complaint he made. He doesn't know that this one is part of it too. So just so it is clear, I have received no notice whatsoever from ODC. This guy is batshit crazy, folks. And if you listen to him, you're doing it at your own peril. EB. This is a grown man in his 60s, maybe close to 70. I don't know. Who is a media personnel, a podcaster, and for now, a licensed attorney in the state of South Carolina. Well, let's look at that ODC complaint, shall we? I think we shall. Is any of this making sense to anybody? I'm just putting out a book that. Let's look at the ODC complaint. And away we go. Look at this. This is there's our boy EB, dated December 18th, right after he had said that I'm a cretin. ODC opens an investigation into Eric Bland. Here is the ODC letter from the Office of Disciplinary Counsel. There's our file number, Mr. Seidel. We have received your complaint and additional information against Eric Stephen Bland, Esquire. We will conduct an investigation into the matters you have reported. It has not necessarily contacted you prior to decision regarding your complaint. Therefore, if you have any additional information or documentation to support your allegations, you should submit it at this time. Thank you, Kelly B. Arnold. So I did. And this was the seventh one. You know, I said I got a screw loose, scumbag, clown, whack job, sick, deranged person, lunatic, mental midget, cretin, while portraying himself dishonest, mentally unstable, engaged in harassment. And there's a surprise. My Barry Manilow singing songs. One post warned that side up, poking the wrong bear, and that anyone who listened to him would do so at their own peril. Yeah, I mean, there it is. Thank you for your hard work. There's what I showed you before. There it is, right there. These are the ethics rules cited. There's quite a few of them. I won't go through them all, but conduct prejudicial to the administration of justice is a big one. Conduct involving dishonesty, fraud, deceit, or misrepresentation. 4.4 is a big one. Using means that have no substantial purpose other than to embarrass, delay, or burden a third person. Moi. And what I found funny is that he had no idea. He's like, well, he's lying. He's lying. And I hope the ODC doesn't listen to this guy. He's a fake. He's a fraud. Don't listen to him, ODC. Well, you saw what I put up there. No, ODC, don't listen to me. Listen to what Eric Bland is doing insane. And I'm not the only person he's done this against. Apparently, he's had multiple violations that I had no control over. As I said, going back to Dick Harpootlian when he was talking about Justice Gene Toll peeing all over courtrooms. And yet he goes on Weber and he's like, the Honorable Justice Gene Toll. Like, come on, dude, you defamed her as well. Like, anybody who brings this guy on and lets him just go off without going into any of this, I'm sorry. You just, this is a suspension for David Paul Trawick. This is an interesting one because Trawick went after one individual on one Facebook post and was quite defamatory. The South Carolina Office of Disciplinary Counsel placed him on a 6-month suspension. Made in Facebook post, ODC believes tended to bring the legal profession into disrepute and violated the letter of law of the lawyer's oath, requiring lawyers to maintain the dignity of the legal system. Respondent admits these public statements tended to bring the legal profession into disrepute and acknowledges that through the statements he violated the lawyer's oath. This is not Eric Bland. This is an attorney in South Carolina named, that's a definite suspension. I wonder how long his suspension is for. But anyway, this is for David Paul Trawick. One Facebook post. Eric Bland has 13 violations in that I sent. I've stopped sending them in because they're numerous. He did it again. Gosh, I think he just did it again yesterday. Let's look at those. Hold on. So here it is again today. This is Eric Bland. I think this was yesterday or today, June 2nd or 3rd, 2026. We're standing for Stephen, a Facebook group that is in support of what I do and in support of this book, Heartbreak on Sandy Run Road, in support of the truth. And they ask Eric, for those of us trying to understand, will you please explain specifically what actions by Jim Seidel hurt or offended Sandy Smith? If Seidel had information and shared it with you and Sandy and also provided it to SLED or law enforcement, which I did, what concerns do you have about his conduct? I'm generally trying to understand where the disconnect is. If you're willing to elaborate, I would appreciate it. You are welcome to private message me if you prefer. This is from Suzanne Andrews, who's in charge of the standing for Stephen. That's a valid question, and I appreciate her asking that. And let's see if Eric Bland is responding to that. I bet he did. Yep, he sure did. Let's take a look at that. EB says he posted a photo of Stephen laying in the street bloodied. That was highly offensive. Highly offensive. And any, I don't know what that means. Any said, is he trying to say, and he said? Any said that Sandy Smith doesn't want to find out who murdered her son. Well, she doesn't call me back, and I've got the information on who murdered her son. I mean, 2 + 2 is 4, Eric. Have her call me then. Why didn't she call me? He's an interloper who jumped into something just trying to make a name for himself. Oh, I'm just trying to make a name for myself. Oh, boy. An interloper is a person or entity that intrudes into a place, situation, or sphere of activity where they are not wanted or do not belong. So according to attorney Eric Bland, who's under ODC violations, I don't belong, as a journalist, I don't belong in the Stephen Smith case. I'm an interloper, just trying to make a name for myself. No, I've never said that. I've always said I'm trying to find the truth in what happened to Stephen Smith. In fact, I said it in my book, if you would read it, on page 5, I say, follow the facts, not a podcast. In the prologue, last sentence, because Stephen Smith did not simply die on Sandy Run Road, he was left there. And this book is not about rumor or internet speculation or any one-sided drama from a podcast. It is about records, timelines, contradictions, interviews, and the people who had the power to tell the truth and chose not to. So Eric is once again wrong. Has anybody in this whole podcast found anything where he's been correct on yet, besides Manny's little minions? I don't think so. Don't think so. Well, let's go back to that and show you what he's talking about in this picture of Stephen Smith, because I want to make something very clear to everyone before I show you the next thing. Let's go to Crime and Cask. Who's that good-looking guy? All right, so this picture right here, this is how we started the episode, right? What really happened to Stephen Smith? This picture right here, what we're all referring to, that one right there. This is a picture by law enforcement. It's a blurred out picture of Stephen laying in the middle of the road. He is, as he said, he posted a photo of Stephen laying in the street. It's a highway, by the way, not a street. Bloodied. Okay. So that brings us up to our next thing. So he's extremely upset about this picture. Okay. Did anybody else use this picture? Let's find out, shall we? Well, here we go. This is the picture. I don't know if any of you can see it, but I will certainly read it for you. There is the picture. You just go Stephen Smith in the road. Go to Google that, like I did this morning. And that's CBS News. That is the CBS News. And if you click on that, this is just a picture, so it's not clickable. It is CBS News 48 hours. CBS News 48 hours posted this picture that Eric Bland was so upset about, and Sandy was so upset about, mainly Eric. CBS 48 hours. CBS 48 hours. That reminds me of something. CBS 48 hours. Let me go look at CBS 48 hours. Let's find out. Once again, I haven't been wrong about a thing. CBS 48 hours. Let's bring videos. There we go. Wow. Hey, there we go. Let's see
I
the.
can't imagine the terror he was in that night.
Oh, wait. Is that Sandy Smith on CBS 48 hours?
In the early morning hours of July 8, 2015,
July.
19-year-old Stephen Smith was found dead in the middle of a rural road.
Not a
There
street.
was an autopsy that basically said it's a hit and run.
There was no vehicle debris, no broken headlight.
No vehicle debris, no broken headlights. That is all explained in this book. Does Eric want to hear about it? Nope.
Paint scrapes or anything.
You never
That's
believed it?
No, not at all. He never would have been walking in that road.
I explained to Sandy why he was walking in the road. She appreciated it.
Not voluntarily.
Do you believe Stephen was murdered?
I do.
It depends on how you want to define it. But again, I just want to point out Sandy Smith is on the CBS 48 Hours episode where they showed a picture of Stephen Lane in the road. The exact same picture that I
An
posted.
investigation of some sort took place that led nowhere. And then it went cold.
I wanted a second opinion.
Sandy Smith is unique in this whole story. She doesn't know who killed her son.
Yes, she does. I told her.
She doesn't know why.
Yes, she does. I told her. There's Lumberjack Liz. What do you got to say, Liz?
People in town really believed that it was connected to the Murdaughs in some way.
Yeah. And you spread it.
The name Buster Murdaugh kept coming up.
I never had anything to do with his murder, and I never
He
had
did
anything
not.
to do with him on a physical level of any regard.
Correct.
Rumors also suggest a cover-up.
We are aware of no evidence today that would suggest that any Murdaugh played any role in Stephen
Is that
Smith's
Eric
death
Bland?
or played any
Was
role
that
in
Eric
trying
Bland?
to cover up the investigation into his death.
All I want is peace and knowing
I gave that to you on the telephone.
what happened to my son.
Told you.
He's my world, and I'm going to fight to the end.
I don't blame you.
This is a woman that has fought this battle alone since 2015.
No, she hasn't. I've been fighting with her not with her. I've been fighting for her for probably 3 years.
Screaming as loud as she could with not a lot of people listening.
That is Eric Bland.
CBS News confirming that the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division is now investigating Stephen Smith's death as a homicide.
The Murdaugh case
The Murdaugh
brought
case.
Stephen's cold case to life.
All right, we heard this before. I just wanted to play that to you because Eric told Suzanne Andrews that the reason he didn't, what was it, like me or whatever it was, I don't even know anymore. It's hard to keep up with their crap. He posted a picture of Stephen Lane on the street. Again, it wasn't a street, bloodied. That was highly offensive. But go ahead and go on the CBS 48 News program that did the exact same thing that I did years before, by the way, and you had no problem with it. You had no problem with it. Sandy had no problem with it. So we're eliminating all this misinformation that he's spreading, and we keep coming back to the same truth. And I do mean the same truth, because it comes back to this person right here. That one, October 17th, 2025. That's it. That's when he stopped. And now he's pivoted and gone to Kenny Kinsey, who's just regurgitated what I said to Eric on October 15th, and in that article and in this book. So again, ladies and gentlemen, you tell me. Put it in the comments. Like, follow, share. You know what to do. Put it in the comments. Let's see what you think on why Mr. Brand was doing that. I've got more pictures. It's all ridiculousness. It's all to cover up something I don't know. Maybe it's about money. I did see where Luna Shark is putting Sandy Smith out on their talk circuit, charging people $1,000 if they want to listen to an hour's worth of Sandy. They've certainly had walks and raised money. There's all kinds of things that it revolves around money and controlling the narrative about Buster, controlling the narrative, whatever the narrative is that they're putting out there these days, which is wrong. I have multiple sources close, not only close, there that night. Heartbreak on Sandy Run Road. If I can get this picture going. Heartbreak on Sandy Run Road. Look at that good looking guy standing there. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about Steven. Yeah, talking about that. Let's right there. That's it. That's me on Sandy Run Road, which I have been to. I can't even tell you how many times. Heartbreak on Sandy Run Road, the investigation into the death of Stephen Smith. I just was on Anjanette Levy's show on her YouTube. She's over at Law and Crime. You can go check it out over there as well. I do give a lot more information on her show. But this is the death of Stephen Smith from the Low Country of Hampton, South Carolina. I'm going to talk about the early morning hours of July 8th, 2015. Eric, it's not July 7th, it's July 8th. If you'd read the book, if you talk to me, but you don't want to. And for you to accuse me of saying Sandy doesn't want to, well, listen, call me, text me, email me, message me on Facebook, message me on Instagram. Go ahead. I'll wait. And if she doesn't call, because I have the information, I have given you the opportunity to listen to the interview, even with Patrick Wilson. You don't want to. What else would you like me to deduce from that? Anyways, that is it for today. I just wanted to show you the nonsense that's going out there, and then just the lapdogs. I think Eric just got slapped around by Mandy, and he took his orders and he followed them to a T, and it's gotten him in trouble with the ODC by coming after me. And she's in trouble. She was going to get some show cause hearing with the Beach v. Parker case. She's in serious trouble. May pay up to upwards of $50,000 in fees and fines, and may go to jail, even though she says she won't. That's never no possibility. And Liz, I don't know what the hell's going on with her. And Beth Braden, now she's the new one on Luna Shark that's coming out and attacking me. I kind of made her look like an idiot. She should just stick to the Food Network and stop writing about true crime and go back to fried chicken. And that should do her well. But in this case is all but solved, or is it solved? The investigation into Stephen Smith, available on Amazon right now. It is quickly selling, but it's just got out, so it's going to take a little time. There's pictures, there's names, there's a Murdaugh connection in here, but it's not what you think. So go ahead and get the book. It's got all the information in there that Eric doesn't want you to have. I don't know why. Crime and Cask out. We'll see you later. Bye.